walking patterns are a key fundamental element in our training ethos. We strongly believe in walking patterns as one of the most powerful methods of training for people to really assist on building functional capacity in the human body. Not only this, but walking patterns are fantastic for training many other components of fitness within your training sessions. Walking patterns help to develop proprioception, which is your awareness in space when you are coming into contact with something, your ground force reactions, as well as developing dynamic stability and control of the human body. You also learn how to produce and reduce force. This is a big key element when it comes to your training. And with the way the force is produced and reduced here, we're working more in horizontal force vectors rather than vertical. This will help to provide a different training stimulus that you may not normally be used to when you are training in the gym. Now we're going to begin to take a look at the first exercise that we can practice our walking patterns with. What we're going to work with is the club swipe. We're going to bring the club up to the order position and one leg forward and one leg back. I find it is easier to start with your left leg forward and the right leg back, holding onto the club into your right hand. As we step forward with our right leg, we're going to swipe the club over our shoulder, keeping it nice and tight, aiming like we're going to be scratching our back with the club. As we take our step forward with our left foot, we're going to bring the club back to the order position. We're going to work forward or back, however many paces you desire, swiping each time you take a step. Each step is one component of the swipe. So as you step forward with your rear foot, you will swipe over the shoulder. As you step forward with the left foot, you will then swipe back to the order position. Making sure we're keeping nice and tall and a neutral spine throughout these movements. Controlled movements as well. We don't want to be going too fast, and we don't want to be taking big, long lunging steps either. Now this said, we don't have to limit ourselves to just forward and back motions. We can also use this exercise stepping side to side. What we would do here is we would start with our feet apart, then we would bring our feet together. But now to get the right stepping pattern, if we're going to our right, we would bring our left foot in to our right foot first. And as we do this, we would bring the club over the shoulder in the swipe position. And then we would step out with our right foot, bringing the club back to the order position. We can also do this swiping as we move away from the club or towards the club. In the swipe, it's not going to be as prominent what you would feel doing this sort of action. When we come into the middle, this is when you would really notice how the body would react to force that's been produced in the body and you're moving towards it or away from it. So let's start taking a look at the mill. We're going to use the same milling action taught earlier on in the mini course. So how we're going to set up is our feet side by side. We're going to start with the club in the order position. Now, as we bring the club down and it clears past our knees onto the outside of the body, we're going to take one step forward. By the time we've planted our foot on the ground, the club is going to come up behind the head for the pendulum swing here. As it comes to the cast over the shoulder, we cast over the shoulder and step forward in a simultaneous action. The club will then come down past the knee of the lead leg, and again on the outside of the body is when we begin to start taking the step forward with the rear leg. So when the club ends up behind the head, we have our opposing leg forward. And you repeat this action forward and back for your desired amount of steps. Again, like the club swipe, we're not limited to just going forward and back. We can also go side to side. And as we discussed earlier, now we can either move to the side that we are milling to, or we can move away from where we are milling to. This will change the reactive forces placed on the body as we're starting to move. My suggestion is to start with casting towards the direction that you are moving to, so your body can get used to moving in this space with such a technical exercise. So your mill will start off the same like our club swipe. We're going to have our feet apart, and as we mill the club down in front of our body and it reaches the outside of our body, we're going to step our feet in together. Same thing as before. If we go to the right, we bring our left foot in. When we are in with our feet together and the club is behind the shoulder in the pendulum position, we're going to cast it over the shoulder for the mill, and we're going to step out with our right foot. And we're going to repeat this process to our desired amount of steps or distance, whichever direction we're going to. Now, what we can also do here, if we are casting with our right arm across the body in an outside to in mill, we can move with the direction of where we cast to. So when you're looking at that, the right arm is casting across the left hand side of the body. So we would simply reverse our step pattern. Our right foot would come in first to our left foot, and then our left foot would step out. This will allow you to move in the same direction as where the force is being produced to, which you will find is a lot easier on the body to work with. When you want the greater challenge, cast as we have been with our right arm across the body towards our left, and we will step out towards the right. But first, go through and practice how to do the mill with a nice light club, understanding the pattern and its directional movement and how to keep your body balanced with it in the traditional standing still position. When you want to progress with walking patterns, start with the club swipe or simpler exercises as well, like a simple shoulder press. Work with understanding on how to move your body in a contralateral motion first, before progressing to using something as technical as what the mill is.